5 stocks Warren Buffett recommends to buy right now. If I ask you to name one successful investor that you know, can you guess which name will pop up the most? Yes, exactly. Warren Buffett. He is one legendary person in the investment world, and wouldn't it be cool to know about what stocks he suggests people buy? In this video, I will be showing you guys exactly that, so stick with me to the end. Warren Buffett is widely regarded as one of the greatest investors of all time. During his tenure as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, the Oracle of Omaha has racked up an unrivaled track record. Since he took the helm of the company in 1965, its stock has generated an annual growth rate of above 20%, and closed out 2019 with total returns of 2,744,062%. So if this man suggests that you buy some stocks from his almost 8 decades of stock experience, shouldn't you grab onto that? So I looked around to know what stocks Warren Buffett recommends and made a list of those. Let's dive into the video. Apple. The benefit of the Buffett long-term investing approach is that when he finds a winner, it can pay off handsomely. According to Warren Buffett, Apple is exactly that kind of company. Buffett not only suggests people invest in Apple, but he himself is a big investor in the company. Apple has been a huge winner for the Oracle of Omaha. Berkshire's 944 million share stake in Apple makes up almost half of all of its publicly traded stock holdings, and it's worth more than $135 billion at recent prices. Buffett thinks of Apple as Berkshire's third business, and considering the size of the stake, those are hardly empty words. Buffett cut his Apple stake by 6% in Q4, possibly because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. After all, shares in the iPhone maker rose 15% in the fourth quarter of 2020. Even then, Apple still accounts for almost 44% of Berkshire's total portfolio value. Verizon. Okay, you have a smartphone company on the top of the list, but what about a telecommunication company that fulfills that smartphone? Here comes Verizon. Verizon, the only telecommunications company in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, is a beloved staple of long-term dividend investors everywhere. That's why it looks so at home in Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio. Warren Buffett has created a big position in Verizon Communications during the fourth quarter, accounting for 3.2% of the overall portfolio. Verizon is a cash cow. How, you may ask? Folks will turn a vacation into a staycation, and they might postpone the purchase of a new car, but they're going to keep their phones turned on. The only question is which carrier is going to be providing service. Verizon does pretty well in terms of keeping customers on board. Bulls like Verizon for both its growth prospects in the era of 5G networking, its defensive characteristics, and the reliable income stream it delivers to investors. CocaCola. Your smartphone is now set, so how about a relaxing beverage company? Buffett has always said that his favorite holding period is forever, and Coca-Cola is a true long-term buy-and-hold play for Buffett. Berkshire has had the same $400 million share position in Coca-Cola for more than 25 years. Even after the stock's lackluster performance in the past year, that didn't cause any change in Warren Buffett's strategy. Buffett also racked up an almost 1,600% gain on his beloved Coca-Cola. The investor spent $1.3 billion to secure a 9.3% stake in the beverage group, worth nearly $22 billion. While the US market is somewhat saturated, the leading brand and high profit margins make Coca-Cola a cash cow. In addition, the company generates the lion's share of sales overseas, and it sports strong product growth rates in emerging markets like India. Finally, revenue from operations rose 18.63% during 2019 to 2020 as compared to a year ago. Abbvie. Medicines are really important in life, so that's why Buffett got Abbvie for you. Abbvie is best known for blockbuster drugs such as Humira and Imbruvica, but analysts are also optimistic about the potential for Rinvoq and Skyrizi, which treat rheumatoid arthritis and plaque psoriasis. Recently released Q4 results show some good growth of this company. Warren Buffett started to get into Abbvie in the third quarter of 2020. He bought even more shares of the big drug maker stronger in the fourth quarter. Buffett buys stocks to generate solid growth over the long term, just what Warren Buffett likes to see in stocks. Another likely draw for Buffett is the biopharma firm's storied dividend history. Abbvie is a dividend aristocrat by virtue of having raised its dividend every year for nearly half a century. Even better, its current 5% dividend yield is one of the highest in the S&P 500. The dividend yield shows how much a company has paid out in dividends over a year. Proctor Gamble. It's a safe parlor bet to say that there's at least one Proctor Gamble product in every home in America. If you are surprised to know that, let me repeat that name, Proctor Gamble. Not familiar? How about P&G? They are the consumer products Goliath that holds brands like Tide, Pampers, and Gillette. They have so many products that they offer, it is like they are one big company with huge diversification. That is what attracted this legendary investor to their company. Well, that's not the only thing. P&G's long-term strategy is to only compete in markets where it has a number 1 or number 2 market share, and pair off products when it can't obtain that leadership position. Having a top market share allows P&G to easily raise product prices when the cost to produce items rises. There's consistent cash flow and its corresponding dividend. The current yield of 2.5% isn't exactly thrilling, but P&G hasn't failed to make a quarterly dividend payment in the past 130 years. And it has upped its annual payout every year for the past 64 years. Those figures are good enough for Buffett, and he thinks for you as well. Now, Bitcoin is causing some stir around the world right now, but Warren Buffett isn't into the cryptocurrency. Want to know why? Click on this video link. So that's it from me about the 5 Warren Buffett recommended stocks. For those new to the channel, remember to like this video and subscribe to join the Six Figures Club, and follow along on the journey to wealth.